is a childhood dream of many people to own a monkey, lion, or other exotic animal as a pet. According to World Animal Protection, an exotic pet is a pet that is wild and has not been domesticated. People who support this idea of owning exotic animals as pets think that if they have the ways to take care of it, they should legally be allowed to own them as pets. But according to One Green Planet, it is a great learning experience to own these animals as pets. People who oppose this idea say that the average person does not have the right ways to take care of these exotic animals, and therefore they should not be allowed to own them. Many exotic animals can also pose great safety and health risks to the owners and
Charge me.
Hi, I'm Lily Burnett, and today I'm going to be telling you why I think that people should not own exotic animals as pets. First off, these animals are wild creatures, like wolves, monkeys, reptiles, birds, lions, and other exotic animals, and they should not be kept in captivity. Most states don't have accurate records of how many of these animals are legally imported each year, but according to Born Free USA, there is an estimated 5,000 tigers in the United States alone. Many animals are abused, poached, and bred in captivity on farms before being brought over to the United States or wherever else they're being sold. These animals often don't even make it throughout the journey, and 4 out of 5 die before they reach their destination, or they die in the first year of captivity. Many who possess these animals can't handle the responsibility, and they try to give them up to zoos or other sanctuaries because they realize that they do not have the means to take care of them. But the zoos cannot take all of these animals. If they were to take every single one of the exotic animals that are not wanted, there's no way that they could do it. So many of the exotic animals that people decide they don't want anymore end up in abandonment, or they have to be euthanized because there's nowhere for them to go. These exotic animals also pose huge health risks to everyone around them. Monkeys, for example, can carry the herpes B virus, and around 80 to 90% of the macaque monkeys carry it. It's very hard to tell which monkeys are actually carrying the disease because they shed it through their saliva and they don't show any symptoms of being sick. However, since this virus was discovered in 1932, there have been 31 more cases of humans being infected by the virus through being bitten or spit or sneezed on by the monkeys, and 21 out of these 31 cases were fatal. Many reptiles also carry the salmonella virus, around 90%. They shed it through their feces, and it's very hard, you can't hardly tell if they're carrying the virus. The CDC says that there's around 93,000 cases reported each year of people who were exposed to salmonella. Exotic animals also pose a huge threat to public safety. These animals are wild, and it's in their nature to act upon their natural instincts. If you keep them in a small enclosed space where they can't roam and give in to their natural instincts, then they're like time bombs waiting to explode. There have been tigers that have mauled people, monkeys that bite people, and snakes that strangle people to death. These incidents are actually quite common too. Monkeys are the most commonly owned exotic animals as pets, and when they are around the age of 2, they exhibit very unpredictable behavior, and there have been around 52 bites reported during the years of 1990 to 1997. Many of the owners do not report these bitings or attacks because they're afraid that their animals will be taken away from them or even killed. Some of the other most commonly owned exotic animals are felines, because when people first get them, they see them as these cute and cuddly little cats, and they think that it'll be so easy to take care of them and they just have to feed them like a couple bottles of milk. But then, a few years later, they grow up to be 500-pound animals who need 30 to 50 pounds of meat a day, and people realize that they do not have the right way to take care of them. You can never make a pet out of something that is not supposed to be a pet. The other most commonly owned exotic animals are reptiles, and these can pose a serious threat to public safety and their owners because they often strangle people, and there have been many cases of snake bites throughout the US. So, what should you do with all this information? For your own health And for the sake of the animals, please do not buy exotic animals as pets. If you see one being abused or you know of someone who is abusing one, you can report them to an animal control agency near you. Wild animals deserve to live where they can roam and be free and give in to their natural instincts and live as a wild animal like they're supposed to, not kept in cages that are hardly bigger than the size of their body. Thank you for letting me tell you about why I think exotic animals should not be kept as pets.